21 years into his 35-year prison sentence for selling crack in the 90s, Matthew Charles was released in 2016, a decade early, after the Obama administration changed sentencing guidelines for crack-related crimes.
He's a good man. There's nothing he won't do for somebody. That's hard to believe that he was formerly a drug dealer.
Charles met his girlfriend, Naomi Tharp, just months after he got out.
Was Matthew honest with you right away about his past?
Immediately, like probably our first or second phone call.
As a free man, he quickly rebuilt his life, not only finding love, but a steady job, his own apartment, and buying a car. He even volunteered at the local food pantry. With a slew of felony convictions, including domestic assault, kidnapping, and burglary, Charles acknowledges his past. But he says his life behind bars changed him. He was a model inmate with not a single disciplinary infraction. But none of that mattered when the government realized his release was granted in error. And so this party, not a celebration, but a farewell. Friends and family enjoying one last weekend with Charles after the government convinced an appeals court that his release was a mistake.
When he went to court and they reinstated his sentence, that was devastating because we really thought that he wasn't going back. I mean, our lives was good.
Because he previously served time in state prison, he was deemed a career offender and therefore was ineligible for release. Charles ordered to serve out the remainder of his prison sentence, around 9 years, despite a judge noting his undisputed rehabilitation.
This is another example of thinking of the law in a very mechanical way without regard to the individual circumstances.
This is a prepaid call from Charles.
Charles called us from a detention center in Kentucky.
A lot of people look at your case and they say you did everything right. Do you feel bitter or angry that you have ended up back in prison on a technicality?
I wouldn't say you're bitter or angry. I feel sad. Sometimes I don't clearly understand it, but legally, from a technical standpoint, I do.
Legally, the justice system recognizes just one Matthew Charles.
I was that person at that time, but I've been ashamed of that person and doing everything that I possibly can to get as far away from that old person and never become that old person.
An online petition seeking his release has more than 80,000 signatures, his case garnering attention from celebrities like Kim Kardashian and Chelsea Clinton, hoping a president who just this week freed another long-serving drug offender, Alice Johnson, will do the same for Matthew Charles.
Are you rehabilitated?
Oh, yes, sir.
A changed man once given a fleeting second chance, hoping for one more.
I'm just remaining hopeful, remaining cheerful, just taking it day by day.
Unless his sentence is commuted by the president, Matthew Charles won't be eligible for release again until 2027. Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.